Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. We're back in the Kawartha Lakes, and today is the Ice Fishing Rod Challenge. Big day. We've had this idea for a while, and we're finally putting it into action. We're on a small lake here in the Kawartha chain, and we're headed out to see who can catch the biggest fish on an ice rod. Let's dunk the boat in. Let's get out there. We're going to go over the rods that we're using, talk about baits, and go fishing. Okay, made it out on the water. So like I said, today is the Ice Fishing Rod Challenge. We have no other rods in the boat, just a couple of ice rods. 40-inch medium heavy Shimano Convergences. I got a Nasky on mine. Griff's got a Vanford on his. We're allowed to use any bait in the boat, but I feel like we got to be a little strategic here. I've never casted an ice rod before, so, you know, see how it goes. You got to be able to use stuff that not only they'll bite, but you can land them on, actually hook them and land them. So, you know, we won't be throwing any frogs like in the last episode. So I think we're both going to start with a jig head style bait. Griff is tying on a Ned rig right now with a Great Lake Finesse Hellgrammite, and I have a Cindy rig. So if you guys don't know what a Cindy rig is, basically it's a minnow and a ball head technique. You can do a lot of stuff with this. You can fish it on the bottom like a Ned rig and drag it along. You can just cast it out and reel it like a spy bait or a swim bait. Super versatile bait. GLF drop minnow, the 3.25-inch one. We're both running 10-pound test braid Power Pro connected to 8-pound leaders. Let's see how this goes. Put it this way, every fish we catch is a personal best open water bass on an ice rod. Yeah, so you know what? I think personal bests are gonna be broken today. That's something to be excited about, right? Stick around, folks.
There it is, guys. It's gonna kick Bobby's butt. We'll see.
Winner of today buys the other Tim Hortons or an energy drink, so the stakes are pretty high. Oh, it feels weird. I wasn't sure how weird it was gonna feel, but it's weird. I feel like Harry Potter.
Holy crap. Okay, well,
put it on the scale, see what it is.
Self-landing smallies, 197. Fish number one, well, 2-pound smallie, and it's going back. We're gonna see if we can get some bigger ones. Fish number two on the Hellgrammite. That's what it's all about. A little smaller than the first, and he's going back.
Yeah, I think my head is a little bit light. There's some current going through here today, and I'm not feeling the bottom. So now I'm upping from that little 1/8 ounce head that I had to a 1/4 ounce, and instead of the drop minnow, I'm going to throw the Ned bug. All right, little GLF Ned bug. First cast after switching that weight. People wonder all the time why you need, you know, all these different weights of jig heads. That's a pretty perfect example right there as to why. It's because when you're dealt with different conditions, different depths, different wind speeds. This guy's just a little guy. Here we go, flip him in. Woo. When you're dealing with those different conditions, sometimes you need to switch the weight of your head, and that plays all the difference. That was first cast after upping the weight of my head, because I could feel the bottom, and it resulted in a bite. Be prepared for all situations so that you can adapt, you'll catch more fish.
Where'd your hat go?
That was wild.
I don't think I've ever seen you do that before. Good, good. I might be buying Tim's right now.
Oh, we need to land it.
Big muskie, big
Here's the
walleye.
thing, you can't horse these fish because you're using an ice fishing rod. Straight up, that was the lightest bite I got all day. Like, I don't think he's a humongous one, but I think he's maybe 2 and change, maybe 3. He's a good one. He's not as big as I thought, but that's a nice smallmouth.
Yep.
On the Ned bug. Fishing a deeper rockweed area here. That is the first solid one for me on the Ned rig. Great Lake Finesse Ned bug on a 1/4 ounce GLF Ned head. Nice smallie. 269. This is part of it, you know, is can we land these fish using a 40-inch medium heavy ice rod? All right.
Nice work, buddy.
Decent one.
Yeah.
I'll have to put that one on the scale. Another one on the Ned bug. Perfect. Just sitting there on the edge of his mouth. Nice. Griff saw that fish on the scope, we think, just hanging out on a weed line. Put him on the scale. 302. There he is. Pound and a halfer. All we're doing here is we're moving down this weed line slowly, positioning the boat right on the weed edge, right where the weed meets the rock. And we're just pitching our Ned rigs, you know, 20, 30, 40 feet in front of the boat, letting them go down to bottom, shaking, giving them a couple pops, reeling up and doing it again. It's almost like you're dunking a jig along the weed line, but you're using a Ned rig and an ice fishing rod. So when you're fishing these lakes around the Kawarthas that have a significant amount of current going through them, you know, a lot of them are manipulated heavily by the current, especially if you have 2 dams, one on either side of the lake. Something that we look for is when those dams are opened. You know, those dams will close in the summer and they'll stay closed for a week, 2 weeks at a time. And a lot of the times when they're closed and the current isn't moving through the lake, it can get tough out here. The weeds can get scummed up, algae gets produced a lot quicker than it would normally. We've had days where the lake almost feels shut down. But when you're gonna get some summer rainfall, they open the dams and they let the current push through. And the fishing is always gonna be better when there's some current going through the lake. It's gonna move the bait fish around, some of the algae is gonna get pushed out. Find the areas where there's healthy weed growth, clean bottom, you'll find the fish. Hey, when you catch them on an ice fishing rod, it's different, but definitely fun.
Well, Bobby's still in the lead, but we're back on spot 1 and we're catching fish.
Hey, 266.
All right, guys, my first Walter of the year. It's not a bad one. I mean, it's okay. And he came on the Great Lakes Finesse, the bug. Ooh, 2 pounds, 2.66 pounds.
Double trouble. More times than not, when the afternoon comes around and it gets hot, you know, those smallies that are hanging out on the rocks and the sand in the morning, they'll go and they'll be in the same areas, but they'll find the weed that's healthy and close to that spot and they'll just tuck in there. Getting a lot more bites when we focus on pitching at that weed rather than fishing the shallow rock, the shallow sand.
Another nice little smallie here.
Well, It's getting pretty hot out. That was fun catching fish on ice fishing rods. We've been talking about this idea for a long time, and it was fun to actually take the day and make it happen. I did win with a 3-pounder.
Good job, Bobby.
No super giants, but we did get that 3. That was big fish. We are going to put the ice fishing rods down, head back to the launch, pull this boat out of the water, and then go get some Red Bulls or Monsters or whatever. Let's go. First of many challenge videos, hopefully. That was fun to switch it up. Thanks for watching this video, everybody. Bash that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Follow myself, follow Mr. Griffin, who's behind the camera as usual. And stay tuned for some more videos, because it's midsummer, fishing's good, spending a lot of time on the water, and got a lot of things planned for the next upcoming weeks, so we'll see you next time.